You're seeing people hang out by the ledge, but I think both of these two players are aggressive. They like going in, and we're probably in for a really explosive first game here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talked earlier too about like, you mentioned going for back throw shine, kind of changing up maybe your approach to the punish game. I talked a bit about like, how it can kind of change a tier list. There's a lot of characters that like certain options where you maybe want to go, like let's just use an example like Suicide Dare as Falco. Becomes a lot weaker in a crew battle. The best example probably is Jigglypuff. Go for a rest, ends up being a trade. Not really what you want,
right.
Whereas in a regular game, that's very, very advantageous to you. So I think we're going to see people weigh risk-reward in a very different way. But we're off on Dreamland, and I'm excited to see what happens next.
Off to the races indeed. We got USA versus the world of Fox Ditto Red versus Blue.
Yeah, so worth mentioning with Lucky, I alluded to this earlier, kind of sort of a legendary player, but lately kind of been slumping. And I'm not surprised to hear that Joshman did take a set against Lucky. He was spending a lot of time in California. And after kind of an initially not so great performance in Genesis, he's been doing really well lately. I actually expect him to kind of be the favorite in this match. But, Lucky has so much experience in crews.
Ooh, Joshman kind of getting a little bit overzealous with that nair. Finds the recovery, though. It feels like both players are a little bit apprehensive on their edge guarding so far in this first stock. Double jab nair is going to do it, though, for first blood going over to the USA.
Yeah, and always, whenever you're looking at kind of a Fox matchup, both of them are so good at just punishing each other, opening each other up early, getting those kind of early kills, particularly off of things like Shine. You mentioned back throw Shine, up throw Shine, also a really good setup on the ledge. So I'd love to see who can kind of get those early kills, because that's sort of what makes Lucky dislike this matchup, I think, for a lot of the reason. Or you do that.
Yeah, just give one over, 3 stocks to 3. And again, things like that, if you mess up, if you flub by the edge, matters so much in a crew battle.
Another thing that matters so much, regardless of whether it's crews or melee, is that kind of crouch cancel percent. Right now, being at 118, you have so much room to kind of pressure the orange Fox, which is Joshman, whereas Joshman kind of having to play the uphill battle, breaking that crouch cancel percent, but beautiful ledge dash back air.
Yeah, I respect the vision from Joshman, but got a little bit over-eager there to try to find an early kill. Lucky picks that one up, and it's a stock lead going back over to the USA. Let's see what Joshman finds. Up smash, no up air reversal, with jab reset to go.
Yeah, I'm interested that he actually went for the up smash there. Very often, Dreamland in the center of the stage kind of mirrors what you'd see with like an FD or something in terms of the chain grab. Then you can kind of use up tilt to sort of extend these platform follow-ups. But Joshman opting to go for the up smash there, not sure it was the greatest decision.
Okay, top platform. Joshman gets out of invincibility for now. Let's see if Lucky can find his way in here. It starts with weak hit nair. Drill gets his way out. Then back in neutral.
Yeah, good neutral stuff from Joshman. Able to get more of an open up here. Beautiful grab, just barely getting kind of the max range there. And keeps it going for 77%.
That could be stock to grab ledge.
Yeah, wow, what a beautiful sequence from Joshman. So what are your thoughts on Joshman versus Sora? For some people, if you haven't had a heard, this was a player, formerly went as Sora, then eventually became Sora/Joshman. Finally did a Twitter poll, decided, guys, what? Let the people decide.
I mean, Lucky's kind of deciding
no
now with that
kidding.
spike. We'll see. We're on last stock here right now. It's kind of as expected for a Fox Ditto in crews. You kind of see back and forth like here, unless you can see one of the Foxes just completely start opening up the other. Lucky can't seem to find the follow-ups, though, off of these grabs.
Oh, I love that tech coverage there with the up air. He's keeping it going. Walt, oh my gosh. Even still, 100%, this is huge. Just a bit more damage and you can kill with up smash. You got so many setups off of the edge.
The short is so necessary.
Yeah, no other way does he make it back. And is he going to win this game with that short and Walt? It's so close.
Oh, okay.
Trying to turn around.
Joshman with the opportunity. No back air on the ledge right here. Lucky finds center yet again.
Yeah, this could not be more even. Either player just looking for any stray hit. The edge guard, I think this is going to be what does it. Yep, back air.
Back air, jump and recovery. It should just be grab ledge.
Yeah.
Jeez, okay. First blood going over to Team USA here. It was a close one, though.
Yeah.
Definitely a nail biter. And I think the thing is, it can stay pretty even for a while in a crew battle, because if you bring in someone as kind of like your cleanup revenge kill type person.
Are we hearing his?
Oh, we are. Oh
You're getting
God.
like the perfect mic'd up, like I've never heard
No
this.
way.
It's literally like, sometimes you get the crowd mic, but then we're getting like the hand pat mic. Okay, anyway, sorry, I'm interrupting you for very silly reasons.
No, I love
here goes again.
He's doing
now
it.
Now we're going to get the live stretch sounds.
Do it. Come on.
Are we going to hear like ASMR hand cracking? Oh, man. Anyway, you were saying, Walt.
So it's kind of interesting, and we're going to wonder what Team World, who they want to bring in against Lucky, because it can go really even for a while in crew battles. Because if you have someone as kind of like a revenge killer of sorts who can just clean up one stock unanswered, you're back to 4-4 again. Where it starts to become a problem is if Team USA, that is Lucky right now, takes a stock and then starts to bring that into a snowballing advantage over time.
So we got Ryan Ford coming up next. These two players, both just kind of old school players, been around so long. Ryan Ford, one of the best Canadian Foxes to ever do it. A player who was ranked, I believe, 15th in 2013. He's had consistent high rankings, basically been placed in the top 50 for quite a while. More recently, not been as active, but this is his home turf. This is kind of his region. He's among friends here. He's experienced in crews, and I think he might actually not even drop a stock versus Lucky. Not to say that Lucky wouldn't still be hard competition, but I feel like I'm optimistic for Ryan's chances here.
Yeah, again, it's going to be another Fox Ditto, if I'm not mistaken here. I'm kind of interested in this choice, though, just looking at their historical data. The last time these two played against each other was in 2018.
Oh, wow.
And Ryan Ford did win it in 5. However, he lost the previous 3 in previous years dating before 2018.
Yes.
So I don't know if there's a lot of information out there in terms of if Ryan Ford specifically has been playing against people of Lucky's caliber.
Yeah.
And I feel like Lucky in particular is kind of like a wild and wacky fox and can be very unorthodox compared to some of the other foxes out there.
It's funny, too, because you mentioned that like Ryan won the last one, when you'd think that like, again, Lucky, kind of a player that's been slumping a bit. Someone that at one point was like in that kind of top 10, top 15 conversation, consistently so good. And yet, and like even in the 2018 kind of space, I would have said that of him. But so interesting that that Ryan won the last set. Not surprising to hear that they haven't played in a while. That's what makes it all the more exciting, you know? Just seeing how these two match up. I always like watching old school players play. Yeah,
absolutely. And I said it earlier as well, crews are a game of counter picks right now. So Ryan Ford gets to come in. The counter pick advantage is in favor of USA right now. Ryan Ford can clean this one up, but USA gets to bring in a new player and a new stage pick as a result. So I wonder if Ryan Ford's going to look for like an FD, and if he does, he's got to be damn confident in his chain grabs. Otherwise, Lucky could run away with a couple stocks unanswered, and then it gets really out of hand really fast.
So I don't actually think he'll go FD, because back in the day, Ryan used to actually go like Dr. Mario on FD, because he liked the chain grab there and just found it was a less volatile match. So I suspect, it sounds like we have something like Yoshi's. So that's kind of, I definitely don't think we're going to go to FD. We have like a very, very, very rowdy crowd. I don't even know what they're reacting to specifically, but okay, here we are. We are at Yoshi's. So getting started here. You know, this is the funny thing about Fox Dittos, is that really, especially in a crew setting where you only need to keep a couple stocks, yeah, like you don't need much at all. Like that should be it.
He's dead.
Yeah, see? Yeah. Like I said, I think like kind of giving Ryan the edge there, just because like he tends to be a bit more consistent in moments like that. But I think like the longer the set goes on, the more I'd lean it towards Lucky. But good stuff from Ryan. Making it look easy, basically.
Yeah, and those single stock pickups, like I said before, are really, really important, right? Because you don't start losing track of or losing hope over time. That leads snowballs. Now we're going back into a 4-4, and Ryan Ford just has to break down against the counter pick against him. So I guess looking at the world's lineup right now, who do you think, or USA's lineup rather, who do you think they bring in? Do they kind of stay on the Spacey train and keep bringing in Foxes? Do they bring in someone like an S2J? Do they bring in one of the Sheiks? What's going on here?
It's an interesting question. So my guess is typically Ryan Ford for a long time, not a huge fan of Falco. So I could see like a Ginger or something coming in. That being said, it's like, just because you know a good counter pick for Ryan Ford, does that mean that you go for one of your best players in Ginger? I mean, this is a deep roster. I say one of their best players as if they don't have Zayn, Mook, you know, IBDW, but I could see that as an option.
Right.
Another option that I could see is like a Ben, you know? I think
I could see that one as well, and I think what you're bringing up kind of brings up the point of resource management, like I was mentioning earlier, right? Because if you bring in one of your hitters as like a hard counter to really set,
sorry guys,
to really set up a kind of like establish a strong lead. Like if you, let's say you bring in Zayn right now, and Zayn can 4-stock Ryan Ford on FD, you kind of eliminate one of your, again, really strong players, of course. But again, I'm looking at kind of HBox Zayn matchup in particular. Zayn has HBox's number straight up. So if HBox comes in, my expectation is they send in Zayn or IBDW, pretty much no question. So you're kind of like playing the waiting game of like, when are they going to send in X player and what's going to be Y response from that?
I agree, and you know, that game can sometimes like take an approach of like I like that you bring up Zayn, because this could be the situation where they go, hey, let's get aggressive. Obviously, we see SUJ. I kind of like that pick as well. But, you know, you could say, hey, do we want to hold on to our anchor player, one of our strongest players, or do we kind of want to bully them a bit and pull out one of our strongest players and see kind of how far you can take it? Because sometimes, you know, it can be hard to claw back that lead. I also wonder, you know, one of the funny things about Cruz is, again, looks like we're going to
listen in.
So, this is the miking that this is how we got the kind of hand motions.
I love this so much, actually.
I mean, definitely great time to shout out HyperX for supporting this event with the Quadcast microphone series. I imagine that is what we're using to hear this right now. I do like stuff like that, just kind of hearing the little details, what's kind of going through their heads. I mean, SJ, what's going through his head is probably maybe the yell that he got from T.O. Joe after his remarks on the stage, I imagine. Had both of us laughing, that's for sure. But
yeah, absolutely. And again, just straight head-to-head right now, I would say just based on, again, singles match history, good counter pick. S2J 4-0 lifetime against Ryan Ford. Last time they played was a long time ago as well, 4 years ago at Wombo Combo 10-year anniversary. But we are talking about a single game here. Counter pick on Pokemon Stadium. Let's go.
Yeah, I think definitely Johnny, of course, has the edge. Johnny been a player that has really kind of seen his stock rise after a bit of a kind of slow period for a while. I honestly like this pick a lot, actually. The more I think about it, the more I think that, like, I think Johnny might only lose like 1 or 2 stocks at most from this.
Yeah, and S2J with first blood right here. And I think we're seeing this across the board right now. As at the start of these games, there's a lot of reservation by the ledge. I feel like S2J is a player who is so wild and crazy, wants to jump off at any moment if he can, but he's playing it pretty safe, gets kind of a pretty easy pickup for that first stock. We'll see if he opens it up going into this next one.
Nice to see that Ryan is rocking the 6 tag. He's always been a guy who loves kind of mixing it up with his tags. And of course, 6 representing the 416 of Toronto. Obviously, a lot of people heard that from Drake, but you know, that is the explanation for those who are curious.
Shield grab out of S2J does not find the stomp off tech from Ryan Ford. Advantage going back to Ryan Ford, but he corners himself here.
Yeah, not what you want to see from Ryan. Is definitely struggling to get in, and SUJ doing just a great job of zoning him with his nairs. Beautiful knee, by the way.
Ooh, he could be dead.
Like these empty hops, just trying to bait him out of the corner and just doing such a good job.
You said 1 or 2 stocks, Radar? This might just be
nothing, man. Yeah. Oh, but that should do it right there. No, doesn't. It is Falcon, of course. I'm thinking, forgetting how heavy he is. Oh, good nair, though. That should be it. Yep. Even doesn't go for the forward smash, goes for the up smash. Very good awareness from Ryan. It does manage to take a stock, but this is an uphill battle, to say the least. Yeah,
so again, when you're facing down kind of a deficit like this, in Ryan Ford's position, you're looking for 1 more, I think. If you can get it, it might be doing it, but he gets burned on the way up. Ryan Ford with the opportunity. Double jab. Raptor Boost gets him out, and it's the reverse knee. Solid free stock from S2J.
Yeah, Ryan looking visibly frustrated there when Johnny hit the SDI up on the jab. Good defensive play from S2J. You know, Ryan, not the performance he wanted. I mean, he did clean up Lucky's sock fairly quickly, but...
Oh, they're just sending in Frenzy right away. Falco counter pick here. The question is, what kind of stage are we thinking then?
Yeah, I don't know how much I love this. I mean, okay, so Frenzy is a pretty defensive Falco, if I recall.
Is that banned or no?
I have no idea. We didn't ban last time. So
We're getting, once again, we're getting to listen in with the HyperX.
I'll go FD then.
Okay.
FD. Okay, that was going to be my question. Is,
How many do you have?
think
3?
it's going to be the Falco Falcon on FD? And if that's the case, I mean, Frenzy is quite good on that counter pick. And
Yeah.
you're talking about a matchup where when Falcon has no platforms to escape, that could spell really big trouble. It might be what Team World needs to make a comeback like this, now that S2J's kind of extended USA's lead with this 3-stock.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. S2J, I just look at the lineup that they have, and it feels like they don't have like a really great counter to him. You know, like he's
To
pretty good.
S2J.
Yeah, he's pretty good against Puff. He's pretty good against Fox. He's one of the best against Falco. You know, has so much experience versus Mango. Excuse me. Not going to be someone you want to throw in like Swooper against or whatever.
Right.
And even Amsa, like, you don't want that either. So I like really like the fact that they threw him out early because he might get a lot of mileage.
Yes, I think Frenzy is kind of like the stopgap now that I'm looking at this graphic as well. You put the Falco on FD, you get an advantageous pick against a Falcon who, looking at this graphic, you're kind of putting another Fox against S2J if Frenzy doesn't take it now. Because S2J has taken sets off HBox, S2J is good in the Ditto versus none. And against Amsa, I feel like it's kind of a scrap fest. So is the world really going to be wanting to be in a position where they send in someone like Amsa and it's kind of stock trades back and forth? Because Amsa, when he fights against players like None, for instance, go kind of hamburger is absolutely crazy. And they go back and forth on stocks. It is like just a complete blowout when those sets happen. So yeah, I agree with you. I mean, this is a pretty good pick to bring him in early like that.
And it's tricky because like this is one of the challenges with crew battles is obviously there are you know, legendary stories of Mewtwo King and crew battles and stuff, but most of the time it comes down to just how much value does each player get. If you can get 6 stocks a person, you suddenly run away with the lead. And so if Johnny can get a lot of value here, the world just might not have the time and the roster to answer back. Like, you know, this is a team that has, again, Zayn, Jmook, IBDW, like, they can't be wasting all their efforts on Johnny when they've got so many more players to kind of push through. It just really shows how stacked Team USA is.
Agreed. And S2J on pace to potentially earn 6 or even 7 stocks right here, unless he just wins it outright against Frenzy. It is only a 1-stock deficit going into this counter pick, so we'll have to see how this one shakes out. Again, we're going to be going on FD in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, but who do you guys have in this set? S2J with 3 stocks or Frenzy with 4 on the counter pick?
Yeah, interested to see what chat is saying. Of course, I do wonder what Frenzy is up to. You know, obviously did the stage pick. Now he's...
this could be the ice out.
Very true.
You never know.
He's taking Wizrobe's spiritual place here, making Johnny wait a little bit. But yeah, no, I think Frenzy in general, kind of like an interesting player, period. Someone who I'm excited to see how he does at the kind of main bracket. After a pretty like solid performance at Summit. And I don't know, as a Falco player myself, I always like seeing kind of how people approach that character, just because much like Fox, like there's really a lot of ways to kind of express yourself when you're playing Falco.
Yeah, so let's... Oh, wait.
Oh, what?
Change up. We did all that talk about Frenzy, and they're sending in Prof.
I mean,
okay,
so,
Professor Pro instead.
Yeah, that's weird. So, Prof, this is a player a lot of people, if you've been in the scene for a while...
Good. I want to bunch.
I want to hear what they say.
I want to do bunch it. Go for it.
So, Prof, you know, another British player who's been around for a long time. One of the few people who kind of was able to hang against Triff, who was like Europe's best player for quite a while. Just a really, really deadly peach. and someone like, you know, who could go up on a bit of a run. I actually kind of like this pick a bit better, even though Falco sort of classically does well into Falcon, and I think Frenzy actually would do pretty well. I think this might be a bit better. I still think that Johnny has the edge here, but I see Prof probably taking 2 stocks, would be my guess.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, the question is, if you can't take down S2J, the points that we made earlier still kind of stand. It's like, who do you bring in after to clean up S2J, and how much can S2J get done with a single stock if Prof only takes 2, let's say? You know, he needs to take down S2J right now and force the player counter pick, as opposed to Team World staying on the back foot here.
Absolutely. In general, he's just someone who, like, you know, at one point, he, like, you know, this is a guy who was kind of one of the faces of Europe for so long. A player really, really, really dominant. And we kind of haven't seen a lot of him lately. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing kind of how he matches up against a player of S2J's caliber. And, you know, it's just been a long time since he's been at a major tournament in North America. Yeah,
long time indeed. And I think that's kind of a consistent trend across some of these matchups we're getting. Last time Professor Pro and S2J played against each other was 2 years ago at Saving Mr. Lombardi 2. That was a 3-1 in Professor Pro's favor. They played twice at that tournament. S2J also 3-1'd him to knock Professor Pro out of that tournament. However, a lot to be said. That could have happened in the last 2 years. You know, it's kind of hard to go off of a historical like that when we probably haven't seen all too much of Professor Pro, especially kind of United States, Canada side.
Yes, I have eaten a Jack Link's sausage, and it is the incredibly spicy one. It's not actually that spicy, but like, it's more spicy than someone wants to eat when they're commentating. Very delicious, though. Big shout outs to Jack Link's, you know, family-owned business. High quality products.
Hey, we got it.
Much like the Smash scene. But yeah, that one.
Wait, you got a jalapeno one?
I didn't get the jalapeno one. I got the Wild Heat.
Hang on.
And it says extra hot on it.
All of these are original. I feel slighted.
If you want to take a bite from the back end, if you want, and just.
Is this like a commentary challenge?
Oh yeah, exactly. You know, you've heard of the ghost pepper, of the hot chip, but.
Oh, this actually is really hot.
It's like pretty hot. It's definitely like a, you know, you grab a snack and you're thinking like, all right, you know, just something to keep me going. And you're like, whew, okay. I mean, I'm a person who likes spice. But yeah, Walt taking some water. I'm also gonna take some water.
Yeah, that was a hot one. Just like this set we're about to get into, S2J versus Professor Pro. We're in hand warmers, actually. Never mind. Oh no, is this real? No, this is hand warmers.
I think
they're getting ready.
Real.
Yeah.
They're just gonna start.
Yeah. Okay. FD counterpick the same as if we were going to have Frenzy here, so I like that. But we'll see what Prof brings to the table. Oh, that's not good. Not a good start.
I can't believe I ate this spicy. Like, I'm just... Okay, so FD obviously simplifies the tech chase game of Falcon, but also kind of like simplifies his neutral a bit. And of course, Fox, very, 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 very powerful punish game as well, which we're about to see now. Chain grab, not as much of a thing. Obviously, it works on DI away, like we just saw, but you have to be a bit more creative for the kind of neutral DI options. Wow, beautiful grab.
Okay, Professor Pro trying to get the first one on the board here. Johnny kind of already above average in terms of stock taken so far. But, I mean, we saw that first stock. Professor Pro only took 10% on the way out. Answer's back with a 17% stock of his own. Let's see what S2J brings back. Turnaround grab! So good.
Yeah, it really is. It doesn't get the grounded shine there. Obviously a difficult technique. And once again, it's getting stuck in his shine. So Prof not moving as well as he wants, but this is a big punish. We are on FD. We're going to be getting a lot of damage. Ends up dropping it, though, but picks it right back up again. And that is another strength of the stage, is you can kind of just reopen the combo once again.
Yeah, S2J jump up airing a little bit early there kind of spells the end of that stock. Professor Pro might be able to clean this one up pretty well, but if Johnny takes this one, that's 6 stocks. That is huge.
Yeah, a little hard to tell if that was SDI or just kind of the missed space in the up air. It actually did look like SDI, and if it was, that is Johnny's defensive play. Just taking him an entire stock. So
S2J with 6. And he's low percent right now. The number 7 is not out of the realm of possibility here. Professor Pro starts it off with the up smash, back to neutral. Up tilt gets him out of trouble for now, but the grab won't connect.
All right. Good tech chase so far. Does only get 73, but again, big stock. SUJ, you know, a man known for the Johnny stocks, named after him, able to turn a single opening into death. And that is a valuable skill to have in a crew battle, but it doesn't matter. Prof is gonna take it with 2 stocks to spare.
Okay, stems the bleeding just a little bit, but the world's still on the back foot here. Now we talk about counter picks. SUJ's out of the way. They kind of took a little bit of damage on the way out, but who does USA bring in to counter one of the multitude of space animals that the world is bringing?
Yeah, I mean, they do have a lot of flexibility here. So here's where I think, like, it's tricky because, like, on paper, they don't have this, like, obvious, like, you know, Fox has so many good matchups, of course, so you don't just go, like, throw in Puff there, even though Puff can do fine against Fox. You think to yourself, like, oh, Sheik kind of loses to Fox, and yet in a crew battle, you get a grab, you get a couple tech chases. So I honestly wonder if we're just going to see, like a KJH or something, you know, someone who's kind of, like, pretty decent himself. KJH, a player who's been kind of, like, pulling the mango and doing Fox and Falco lately. And it's an interesting divide because the KJH Fox is a top 100 player. It's someone who took a set off HBox. It's someone who's, like, consistently doing well against floaties. KJH Falco is not that. KJH Falco, not bad. Again, as a Falco player myself, I'm loving the KJH Falco.
Sure.
He's been innovating. He's one of the most creative players in terms of, like, labbing, but he hasn't yet closed that gap. Obviously, we see him locked into Fox today. I think that's a great pick. But I wonder... Oh,
ooh, Ginger.
Ginger.
Okay, I do like this because we kind of look at the side of counter picks for World now. So if Ginger cleans up with 2, then who do they bring in to counter Ginger? Is it an Amsa? Do we see like a Moki, for instance, who's pretty good probably in a matchup like that? Or do we even see something to the effect of a Falco Ditto where we bring in Frenzy, who we thought we had it coming in earlier? A lot of unanswered questions to be had here, but Ginger as a counter pick I do like. Against Professor Pro, I mean, I don't know if there's a ton of data here.
Yeah, I would imagine they haven't played that much. You know, once again, I'm silent because I tried a different type of jerky by Jack Links. Really, the spicy one is like a commentator trap, man. Like, even now, I'm gonna take a sip of water.
Yeah, actually, Professor Pro Ginger, no lifetime match history in our database, but Ginger's pretty good at this matchup, and again, with counterpick advantage, I'm hearing Dreamland music. I was going to say 3-platform stage, probably. I don't think he wants to go back to FD. So, in for a pretty good game. And
yeah,
again, the question comes into who do they send into the only Falco that Team USA has? World has their own Falco. They can send in, like, HBox early, but then that kind of starts cascading down the whole waterfall of who do they send in to counter HBox? Is it Zayn? Is it IBDW? And then we get into a whole bunch of questions off of that.
I mean, it is definitely an interesting question. I kind of think it would be like a Fox, but like the thing is their Fox roster is like Prof, Zuppy, Joshman, Moki. Well, so Joshman's already out. Zuppy just hates Falco, so I don't think he's kind of the right pick. So, and Ryan also gone. I don't think we see Swooper. Maybe it would be HBox. I mean, hopefully for fans of the world, I hope there are a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, this is going to be tough. Definitely Prof needs to take a couple stocks here, make it happen.
Yeah, we might find out who the counter pick is soon after that Shine Reverse back air. Ginger on the edge guard right now. Can't pick it up. Back air reverses. Ooh, I love that. Shine line grab. Really good stuff.
Yeah, he's been playing very solid. You know, worth mentioning, Ginger, again, just kind of, obviously crew's very important, but as we're kind of building into the tournament itself, looking forward to see how everyone will do. Ginger is a guy who just got off probably his biggest win ever in the Function 2. Mm-hmm. Not beating IBDW, but last time they played, he beat them. Beat the people who beat IBDW, just did really, really, really well.
Right.
And I believe the Grand Finals was it against Moki Function, or was it, I'm trying to remember.
Moki, yes.
Yeah, so, you know, he's got plenty of experience versus Fox. I cannot believe he covered that, dude. Like, so what I was going to say is Ginger, like, the best Falco in the world right now? I know it's a statement that sounds insane, I know that we all know Mango so solid.
Ooh.
But is this going to be the tournament where we see Ginger kind of outplacing Mango? We see Ginger kind of hot off of some recent wins. Maybe his best performance ever. I'm excited to see it. This could be the start of the beginning of the rise of Ginger, really.
Yeah, I think the number 2 Falco in question has kind of been up in the air for a while. If the believers out there have Mango as number 1, I think that's many of people watching right now. It's kind of Ginger and Magi, I think, are the 2 in conversation for those other Falcos in the top 3. So Ginger's definitely making a statement for himself. Radar, Professor Pro not taking a stock there means I think the world's in trouble, man.
The world is in trouble, man. Like,
in more ways than one.
I was about to say, like, we got climate change. We don't, but of course. I refer, obviously we're not supposed to talk about heavy topics, but what we are going to talk about is the heavy challenges the Team World has ahead of them. They need to find an answer to Ginger, and I think it honestly is HBox.
I think it is too, but then you are in big trouble after that. Amsa's a good one, but it kind of presents a similar question, right? Is a little bit of a question mark on who is the counterpick USA brings for Amsa. We have remaining on Team USA, we'll have 2 Saint. Amsa's pretty good into that matchup potentially. A bunch of Foxes, and then Zayn, Zayn's gone 5 games with Amsa as well. S2J is out now.
Yeah.
So, you kind of wonder who the counterpick is. I think Jmook is completely out of the question. I assume Jmook doesn't want to play into that matchup.
Just want to give a shout out to this guy who's carefully ironing out the kinks of the Canadian flag. Really wants us to know. Look, here it goes again. All right, getting the corners out. This guy makes his bed in the morning, Walt.
He does.
He cleans his room.
I respect this a lot, actually. Now there's a fold there. You know what?
Take it back.
No more. Okay, Amsa coming in, though, against a Ginger with 4 stocks. So this is now a full player lead for Team USA. What does the world need to do? First off, it's Amsa needs to beat Ginger, but by how much, we'll kind of see. If there's a way for them to start inching this deficit back, it starts right here.
It absolutely does. Love the graphic that we saw there. Really good stuff. I imagine that's from income tax, so big shout-outs to him. But already off to some pretty good damage, and we saw there kind of a hint of what we might see later, which is Falco, normally not a character that can shine spike people, but due to the armor and the way Yoshi's armor works, and the set knockback in shine, you can actually shine spike people like what we just saw.
Like that.
Yeah, it's like it literally makes him look like Fox, whereas Fox can't do it. It isn't enough to break the armor.
Yeah, and we can kind of see the evolution of follow-ups off of that too, because Amsa was fully ready for it, right? And then it's just kind of an easy land back air out of Ginger. Really good first stock here. Ginger on pace to get 4 stocks in this crew battle.
Oh my god, that up air, dude. Even the freaking shield drop shine was so crisp. Already 82%. Amsa, one of the best players in the world, and Ginger kind of flexing his matchup knowledge. Putting out stuff like the shine, the way he's extended his combos. Obviously going to lose a stock there, but really good stuff from Ginger.
Yeah, pretty mid% right now for Amsa. He gets his way out of invincibility from Ginger, but I feel like Ginger has just found the counter hits, whether it's knowing when to block, but Amsa's just opening it up big now. Yeah,
what a beautiful read from Amsa there. Managing to get another up air, and I think he should convert this all the way. Gets the nair to cover the connect in place, but Ginger just barely grabbing the ledge. Oh, that's a big egg.
Okay, slow get up does not get punished here, but air dodge from Amsa probably a little bit unintended here. Back to neutral.
Honestly, hard to tell if this is Canada Day or if it's Easter with the eggs that we're seeing on screen. Amsa doing such a good job clipping out the nair, but is he going to get this edge guard? Kind of an ambiguous angle. I love the dash attack.
Yeah, covers pretty much everything right there. This is the way the world starts to make their way back. Amsa with the stock lead right now. Ginger needs to find the reply stock.
Loving the down smash into down tilt into down smash. Down tilt has that set knockback, so it's really good at the low percent, and then down tilt just to kind of knock Falco off stage is so powerful. And we have Ginger on the back foot, man.
Oh, so patient!
Now, of course, Yoshi can't roll out of shield, so what is Yoshi going to do in that situation? Really, one of the only options you have is to release shield, which is something like 15 frames. It's so laggy. Really beautiful awareness from Ginger there, and we see it once again.
Yeah, crazy how Amsa still manages to find the stock out of that entire interaction. Kind of blowing this lead up big, but still needs to get a few more stocks after Ginger. Holding onto this stock is huge, but he's not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, so far, yeah, really doing a good job, like you said, of kind of holding on to the stock, getting those high percents, and just kind of like baiting Ginger into certain spots. You know, we've mentioned about how Yoshi's shield pressure really limited. That is not going to kill.
Very heavy boy.
Yeah, too heavy. One of the most heavy characters in the game. But yeah, Amsa doing a really good job of making him seem safe and then doing the shield drop out, because Yoshi's shield not so good grounded, but very good on the platform.
Big parry out of Amsa right now,
that's
rising
gonna do
there
it.
as well, and he trades it. Not going to do it yet.
I thought for sure, I guess, you know, this is the example. I had my singles commentator senses where I said that's going to do it because I thought he'd do a runoff nair. But this is a crew battle. He doesn't want to throw away his stock for nothing.
Oh, okay.
But is it going to cost him?
Ginger with some good development right here, but it might be too little too late. He falls down and goes for shine into rising back air instead of just immediate back air because it's been getting him punished, but yeah. That's all she wrote right there. Amsa closes the book before Ginger has any time to really kind of make those adaptations we started to see at that high percent.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll see it in
absolutely.
singles bracket, but Amsa stays on the stage for now.
We got some.
We're going to play some replays of that last set. Kind of a heater out of Amsa. It looked like Ginger really had it kind of on lock with that shine spike, pseudo shine spike of sorts into the follow-up. Really good just overall awareness. I think we're going to get that shield moment as well here.
Yeah, yeah, I really like this. Like, look at moving around Yoshi's shield. Actually waits for the release there, but then like Amsa with the awareness of kind of being one step ahead and saying like, hey, I know you think I'm pressuring you here, but like, have you labbed out not just the first interaction, not just the second one, but like what happens at step 3?
There.
Because Amsa plays Yoshi all day, every day against Falcos, Foxes, you name it. He has the experience. He knows like not a lot of people know what happens when I do this, and it burned Ginger. He lost his stock in an otherwise advantageous situation.
Yeah, there are indeed layers to the game, and I do think we started to see some of that adaptation. The thing that I wanted to point out earlier was Ginger got kind of burned by falling down with strong hit back air, would get parried and get nared out afterwards. So, I mean, the immediate level adaptation was, oh, I'm going to fall down, I'm going to shine, I'm going to jump in expectation of you double jump armoring out of this, and then I'm going to go for a back air after the fact. But just too high percent, not enough time to really kind of bring his strategy to full fruition here. Amsa with 2 stocks left. And we talked about this at the beginning of the crew battle, Radar.
I got to interrupt you, Walt. What's he doing with his fingers?
Oh my god. Wait, what?
What is...
He's a wizard. Is that Doctor Strange?
He's... like, it's clearly some kind of warm-up exercise. But, like...
I think he's, like...
Oh my god.
Summoning something.
This is some ninjutsu stuff right now, man. I'm ready for Amsa to just have, like, 100...
He just summoned Team USA's worst counter pick against him.
You've watched Naruto, right? You've watched Naruto?
Actually, good counter pick. Tuesday. Yes, I have.
So I was thinking I was gonna be like, it's clone jutsu. Like there's gonna be 100 naked Amsas, and I'm like, no, okay, we gotta end this segment. This is a PG-13 stream or PG. So obviously, Amsa ready to press some buttons, guys. He's ready to get moving, and I like this Toussaint pick. I think Toussaint, they're a player that you can kind of like. Puff is always just so good in crews, very flexible. I do see that Walt pulling up the data for us, about to tell us whether Amsa and Toussaint have faced off.
They have
before.
not.
They have not.
We're in for kind of a long one, potentially. Toussaint kind of known for being a pretty aggressive Puff, and I don't know if that's actually going to play to their benefit here.
Yeah, this is always kind of an interesting matchup. Really good pressure from Amsa so far, and already getting a lot of damage. We've seen, like, this is a tricky one. I don't know if I love this, honestly, because, like, I don't know how much experience Toussaint has against Amsa, especially in a kind of high-stakes situation like in a crew. And even though I don't think that Puff, like, does poorly in this matchup, we've seen Amsa hang with the very best Jigglypuff in the world in Hungrybox.
Right.
He is someone who has made Hungrybox go, I think Yoshi wins this. So is that who you want to send against Amsa? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think difference in playstyle as well kind of matters here. Toussaint does have experience against Whiskers in Tri-State, and he's positive against Whiskers as well. 2-1 from a couple of nightclubs in recent year. So the experience is there against a Yoshi, but is the experience there against Amsa specifically? The answer
Against
is
the
historically
Yoshi,
no.
you know, like just such a dominant player, kind of makes you play differently than every other Yoshi you played before, just in terms of experience and speed alone. Again, we've seen his finger magic just recently, but you know, Toussaint not doing so bad so far. One thing, you know, you mentioned like differences in playstyle between HBox and Toussaint. Toussaint always been a player that's more aggro on the side of resting. Really likes to kind of try and find any opening that they can and just pop out a rest. And once again, like that doesn't work as great in crew battles. It's not something you want to set up trades. If he were to rest here, he would die. We already saw up air closing it out. So it's tough.
And it kind of becomes a battle of attrition when you hit this point, right? Like the Puff needs to find that up air to kill. Up smash will do it as well at that percent, but it is a grind to get Yoshi to high percent and find the kill in a matchup like this where up air out of Yoshi can kill a Puff at like 90 or 100.
Yeah, no, it really is very powerful.
Oh, big punish.
There we go again when I'm talking about trying to look for these really sort of like clutch rests and like rests that like you would never see HBox go for. And on the last stock, that's obviously something that you can go for, but if you guess wrong, you're gonna like further the deficit. And there goes another stock, barely just living still. This has been rough.
Single aerial, it might be enough to just straight up kill Toussaint here. They're gonna have to play very careful now. But the thing is, Amsa's winning the air-to-airs, and that's what happens right here. Amsa takes it with the stock left over. Can he close the book on here and take 8?
Yeah, the world is on Amsa's back, and he has so much to prove. Just this weekend alone, like so many of his fans have been wanting to see Amsa finally win kind of a major event, and you know, GOML is a place to do that. Amsa, you know he's been practicing this. You know he is kind of honing his matchup against Puff to get ready for Hungrybox. Like this could be a preview of potentially grand finals this weekend. It's really wonderful to see it on Amsa's end. I think Toussaint would be a bit impressive, but wow.
Yeah, a little bit animated on that last stock. We did see kind of the play style shift with Amsa at high percent. A lot of crouching, a lot of kind of wait and bait kind of situations, but could not get any type of counter hit or double jump armor out in time against Toussaint's forward smash. So Toussaint's going to stay on the stage, but I mean, this could be trouble.
You know, that's the thing that's very interesting about Yoshi just generally is that, like, we talk a lot about percents and how crouch cancel affects things. Obviously, you know, you're playing around. You're looking to see, like, what moves can I throw out knowing that crouch cancel is an issue. Well, Yoshi kind of has, like, an aerial crouch cancel. And so once Yoshi's at those higher percents, like, suddenly just a ton of options that Yoshi once had available to him just disappear. So, you know, even though Amsa played so beautifully there, when you're at that like 120, 130 kind of range against a relatively low percent Puff, it's pretty tough. Still, taking 3 stocks, very impressive.
Yeah, 7 stocks for Amsa, 7 stocks for S2J now in this crew battle.
So are we dead even then?
Are we? Maybe we can see who's left on this graphic, because I am wondering, is now the time that USA brings in like none? Because you're kind of talking about more space animals here or a Puff Ditto. I feel like the Swooper, as good as he is kind of like an odd man out on this team, because putting Samus into a matchup against Team USA's lineup can be really challenging. Like, where do you find a way to slot in the Samus into this lineup?
I think this is where I think none is a great choice, honestly, because like you look at a lot of the people that they have available to. I don't think you do a Swooper. I don't think you do. I mean, actually, Zuppy might be a decent, pretty good player against Puff.
Yes.
But even still,
Moki
like
as well.
Actually, Moki might also be another one. Because the thing is, you want someone who can confidently take the stock and not just kind of get like not cheesed, but you know, up throw rested, suddenly throw away what was really an important lead. But this is actually a lot closer than I thought it would be. And yes, they've used up Amsa, but they still have Moki, Nun, and HBox kind of on their side. So
Amsa certainly necessary to close the gap there for Team USA.
Yes.
The counter picks are going to be really important from here on out, right? Because
Yes.
we can talk about different kind of multiverses that exist here, right?
Yeah.
If you send out Moki, the counter pick is who? We can bring in a Sheik. We can see Zayn come out.
Yeah. Zayn too.
Then you kind of you go down that rabbit hole, right? If a Sheik comes out, then maybe HBox comes out, and then it kind of opens up this whole can of worms that we're talking about before here. So it starts with this counter pick. I think the options that we talked about are pretty good. Zuppy is good, Moki is good, None is good as well. But we are going to see Frenzy here of Falco against a Puff.
So one of the things about Frenzy, again, I've been saying this all night, that Frenzy, very, very defensive player. I think that it's possible that even though, you know, Toussaint's someone who has played someone like Ginger before, I really think Frenzy plays very, very patiently.
Yes.
I'm just interested to hear what they're saying. Again, once again, we got that HyperX kind of listen in microphone there, but I think Toussaint's might struggle with it. I don't hate the pick, and I guess it makes sense to kind of save your heavy hitters a little bit later, give them less opportunity to counterpick. And, you know, Frenzy is someone who could really show up in an environment like this.
Yes.
You know, you're not expecting too much, and sometimes that's kind of like a mental boost. It's like, hey, look, I'm not kind of the anchor of this crew battle, but I could just have a crazy performance.
I do get a little bit nervous here, right? Because Toussaint has a whole bag of tricks in their pocket when it comes to rest setups. Very, very unique in terms of finding early rest kills. So I feel like if Toussaint finds a single rest stock 1 in this game, that is already kind of a proverbial win for Team USA. They can go out pretty happy. They get the stock down on Frenzy, and then they get a stock advantage for Team USA for whoever they bring in to Frenzy now. And this kind of changes the dialogue a little bit as well, because I kind of feel like...
Wait
a second.
Did we miss that whole game?
Oh, no. Okay. Did Toussaint get a kill?
Wow.
Someone in the crowd, tell us.
So I don't know if there was an error there, but it did seem like they played. So, I mean, I'm as baffled as Twitch chat is, guys. I think someone on production said might have had one of those spicy pepperonis there. They got a little frazzled.
Uh-oh.
But that was that was a bit strange.
Did Toussaint get a kill? That's the biggest question here.
I heard a rest sound, but it sounded like a missed rest.
Okay.
So, you know, yeah, definitely unfortunate. I mean, not ideal, but...
It's plenty of time to recover from the spicy Jack Links we were eating before. So.
Oh, yeah. It was... That Jack Link, it took me places, man. It took me...
Oh, my God.
It just... But, you know, again, we appreciate Jack Links for supporting the program. You know, a taste of American tradition, like I said before.
Wow,
you know, family-owned business. I
love that.
I've been eating a lot of them. So you know, I'm a fan. I like a pepperoni stick every now and then.
Okay. Okay, this brings the question that we had before, right? So part of me thinks that because KJH and Magi play so often, they might just want to bring in KJH, who's pretty comfortable, into Frenzy. However, who do we have left for Team USA? We have a bunch of Foxes, IBDW, KJH, Skurzo. We have both the Sheiks, and we have Zayn. So, again, but for the same question that we talked about for Team World, do they pull the trigger and send HBox in? At what point does Team USA say, hey, we're going to bring Zayn in?
I think this is for sure the time where they bring Sheik. That's my guess. You know, I agree that Zayn, really, really good against Falco, a player that really is only challenged by, like, there was a tweet that Zayn made a while back where he said something like, there's only like 3 Falcos in the world that make me think, or like 5 or something like that, and Ginger was one of them. It was like him, Ginger. Like, there's just like a handful of players that he literally thinks like he needs to even think against, let alone whether he's going to beat them or not. So I think this is where you see a Sheik. I think Sheik kind of against Samus doing really well, and against Falco doing pretty well, and against Falcon, which is no longer in the bracket. So, no, it is on Nunn's side.
None,
Yeah, excuse
yes.
me. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking on SUJ's side. So, getting a little mixed up there. But yeah, so someone like Ben or J-Mook, Ben in particular, I think is just like a safe pick against Frenzy. Probably going to do pretty well.
Sure.
And like, who does he match up with better besides Swooper, right? Or None? And I think even then, like, None you might want to take out your big league Sheik in Jmook there. So, because he's not going to do well
I
against
almost want to
HBox.
argue on the side of Jmook, which could kind of force the HBox at that point, because with no Amsa on Team World, Jmook can kind of run over a lot of these players here.
Absolutely.
I don't know how he would do in particular against Swooper, for instance, but it's a weird set overall. Again, how do you slot in a Samus into matchups like this? And it kind of comes off of the back of a counter pick.
Yeah, I really do think we're going to see it against a Fox in particular. But yeah, so I would literally be shocked if we didn't see a Sheik come out. But I've been shocked before, you know? Amsa's fingers.
I mean, that
Shocking.
Frenzy 2 scene set, man, that was a huge shocker. I can't believe it went down that way. In the blink of an eye.
Some say no one really knows how it went down.
Okay, so remaining players, like we said before, USA has Zayn, they have both Sheiks, and they have 3 Foxes. So there's options here for sure. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm kind of with you now. I'm riding the Sheik train, and I wonder if Team USA wants to do that. I think Jmook certainly forces the envelope on HBox. I don't know if Ben forces it as much.
Because even Ben has taken sets off HBox,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
So, like, yeah. Like I said, like, oh, like, he's not going to do well against HBox. But I mean, like, in a single game, I think, like, at the end of the day, that's still kind of a puff-favored matchup. It's still a matchup that, like, really punishes mistakes.
Sure.
But, I mean, there's no one really on the Team America side that I feel like seems that bad into him either.
Right.
I mean, it just blows my mind that at one point people were like, that's the #1 character, man. like Puff, man, she's got it all. And I like look at this and I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what we're seeing different things. These are the people who got to see Zayn versus Frenzy. They're seeing
it's a
different
mythical
stuff.
set, man.
Yeah, it'll go down generations.
Okay, so depending on what character specifically we get out of here might be the opportunity for Team World to bring in Swooper. I know you said you're kind of expecting to see it against a Fox. I do want to say Swooper did hold his own against Cody at a nightclub. That was a set I commentated. It was one of the most fun nights of my life, seeing that set unfold.
Not bad.
But that's probably a little bit down the road unless they choose to bring in Cody now, which I don't think they're going to do. I think the points that you made about the Sheiks are pretty solid. Even someone like KJH, like I said before, who has Magi as a practice partner, there's a lot of familiarity to bring in against a Falco. Is it going to be kind of like clash of play styles because Frenzy is pretty defensive overall? Are we going to see someone who can run him down? Or all of this gets thrown out the window and maybe we just get Zayn like we talked about in the beginning and he just can run over a space animal on FD and then who stops him after that?
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of the story of the whole tournament is Zayn, who gonna stop me, man? Like, he just, I love that, like, they were talking about this a bit on the kind of Melee Stats podcast with Vish, you know, shout outs to Waiting for a Game. And they were talking about, like, the standard of Zayn just kind of in general is sort of like one that's kind of almost like what we used to do with Armada, where it's just like even getting second at Battle of BC was like, I mean, I kind of was expecting better, Zayn, you know, like this is a man who could very quickly become kind of in that top 5 greatest of all time, top 3, if he just gets like that, like say 6 or 7 tournaments of #1s,
right?
You know, we're living in a Zayn era, so that's why I'm kind of thinking we won't see Zayn, but maybe if Zayn is like, yo, I want to show people some stuff right now. I want to kind of...
Skurzo.
That's Skurzo, yeah. Interesting.
It was just like everything was really muffled.
That's not at all. I said I'd be shocked. I don't know if I agree with this choice. I feel like Frenzy will actually do quite well against Skurzo, but I feel like the thing about Skurzo is that so Skurzo is a player that like a lot of people watching might not be as familiar with, but of course still very, very, very good. I think the thing with Skurzo is just like, who is the player that kind of best lines up into him, I guess. You know, this is the #1 player in Chicago. Beat Professor Pro yesterday, I believe, and beat Frenzy, I think, actually. I think that's
last
what I'm
night,
missing.
yeah.
Last
so
night.
that's a funny
no,
stat
I'm like,
for
wait
you.
a minute, wait a minute.
Skurzo 3-0'd Frenzy twice.
Yeah.
Last night.
That's how you got. I was like,
Which
wait a
is
minute.
crazy.
Wait a minute. There's something that's come up. And then just as I say that, Walt pulling it up. I'm sure Twitch chat is like
Hot off the presses, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So Skurzo has pretty good relevant set history against
Yes.
Frenzy. I do think after this set, this is the opportunity for Team World to bring in Swooper.
Yeah.
Yes. If not now, when is kind of the question. But we'll see how this one unfolds. Is Skurzo going to be able to continue on his winning ways 3-0 against Frenzy? Frenzy is at 3 stocks as well, I believe, right? So 3 stocks or 2, depending on what happened in the Tuesane set. So you never know right here. This could be a pretty big turning point for Team World to kind of bring themselves all the way back.
Absolutely. Trying to figure out what Skurzo's shirt says. Sleeping with, and then just kind of, it is sleeping, right?
It's got to be, right?
It's got it. There's got to be a P in there somewhere. That's the sentence. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Like, we're taking quite a while to get started. It is kind of a funny little Where's Waldo game where you can see my arms in the background. It's very weird to see the back of your head. Like, the back of my head isn't. Yeah, exactly. Is indeed ridiculous. But yeah, I just want to get kind of started. I like the representation of the Canadian flag in the front. Once again, happy Canada Day to all who are celebrating. I hope you guys are enjoying some fireworks in the background while you watch some Melee.
Oh, this might be Sleeping with Sirens, the band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably. I don't know what they look like, though. I just know the band.
I think they probably look like the pictures on
Like
that
that?
shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
It checks out. Checks out.
It seems to line up 1-to-1 with what you would expect. Are they like, what kind of band are they?
Like a metalish type band.
You know, they look like a metalish band.
Yeah, all right. So Frenzy indeed at 3 stocks here. 1 stock deficit for Team World, but they have sufficiently brought this one back. Can Skurzo open up the door
big
again?
shine. Yeah, just a little bit misspaced to cover the tech in place there. Trying to go off of reaction. Doesn't end up getting it, but I like the start from both players. Beautiful double shine from Skurzo, and manages to cover kind of the weird land there from...
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Wow.
That is the definition of a crew battle, Radar.
Yeah.
You just do some crazy stuff off stage, and then you just get dared for it.
I love that Skurzo just kind of shook his shoulders and was like, okay, just whatever. So another big open up here. Good DI to kind of make it ambiguous, but I love the down throw there. Still following up the downer. Keeps it going a little bit longer. This is already quite a hectic game, and it looks like it's going to be over quick one way or the other.
Yeah, Frenzy kind of being the one to push the envelope here, force the advantage right now. Okay, Skurzo with the opportunity does not get double jump up air there, up smash instead. Falling back air is going to be not enough to do it quite yet, but second hit up air will kill off the top. Skurzo now with the lead after that gimme stock in the beginning.
Definitely, we just saw Skurzo
What
there.
are you doing?
Yeah. Take a big, deep breath, kind of sort of making a face almost like get your head in the game, like start to kind of get focused. And this is one of the things about crew battles that's kind of tricky, is if you're a player that sort of like is like a little slow to warm up, like you don't get that chance, man. Like you can just get your stocks deleted. Look, like again, like once again, huge sigh from Skurzo. I think that stuff matters. Like really just not seeing him be as confident as he could be. Big trying to shield.
Okay, lands on right platform though. Saves Skurzo for now. Could find the stock as well. Rising back here to cover the ledge. Skurzo now with the lead.
Yeah, first solid lead of this game. And I like just drill into drill into drill is the name of Skurzo's strategy. So far, getting him a lot of mileage, and the jab could have done it there, but Frenzy lives another day.
Okay, Frenzy trying to find his way in right now, clipping with laser. Skurzo looking for power shield on the counter attack. Skurzo can't really get past this wall right now. It's traded hits, and now Frenzy with the opening. Down here again, last stock.
Yeah, the world is keeping this very, very, very close indeed. This is such a big moment for them. They do want to turn it around, finally get kind of the dominance that they need, but Skurzo clutching it.
Okay, Team USA hangs on to the lead, but just barely. It's still a 1 stock deficit in favor of Team USA. I think this is the moment where you bring in Swooper.
So I was thinking that, and I think you're probably correct. The one thing is, though, whenever you have someone who's like a 1 stock, and they're not like a Zayn.
You're
or
setting
something.
yourself up for a counter pick.
Yeah,
as well.
like
yeah.
you really are. And Samus like gets so hard counterpicked by Sheik. So I wonder if it's like if this was a full 4 stocks of Skurzo, I would say no question. This is the time where you throw out Swooper. But because it's just 1 stock and a stock of Skurzo, which again, no disrespect to Skurzo, but kind of not like a IBDW quality player. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see that. I think like
Zuppy could be good, but you're kind of playing with a little bit of variance there when you bring in another Fox Ditto. Moki solid, none. I mean, everyone left is a solid counter pick, but it brings another question of what's the follow-up pick after Team World brings in their counter to Skurzo.
It's just tricky because it's like, so you play Swooper, and then you get hard counter pick to Sheik. Not like the hardest counter pick, but it's pretty bad. And if you play Zuppy, you might lose the stock. Like that's probably the second best pick here. I don't think you want to play Moki. I don't think you want to play none. And I don't think you could play HBox, but then again, that sort of sets you up for an IBDW counter pick. I think you want to use HBox as a counter. So their back is against the wall. They kind of don't, like every choice feels a little awkward.
Yes, and in my mind, I see Swooper comes out, it forces the Sheik, whether it's Ben or J-Mook, and then that brings in HBox, and then it's a question of, like we said before, is it IBDW who comes in against HBox? Is it Zayn who comes in against HBox? Both are good answers to Juan, but I think Swooper is kind of like the first domino that sets all of that in motion, right?
And Juan is HBox, by the way. You guys are just cool like that, right?
We know each other. So.
Okay, you know each other. Yeah, so, I mean, if it's not Swooper, it's Zuppy. I honestly think I would go with Zuppy if it was me. If I was Group Battle Captain, I think, Zuppy, because let's imagine a world where they pick Zuppy, right? So Zuppy takes a stock from Skurzo, an experienced player against Fox, plays against Moki, other people in his region. And then who do you send out? You probably send out, like, KJH, Ben, J-Mook, one of those guys.
Sure. Or
like maybe Zayn. And then you kind of force Zayn out, which I think is actually good for them. So they probably don't go Zayn. So then it's like, any of the Sheiks I think is good. Because you can bust out like Hungry Box.
Right.
I think KJH is good. I just kind of like it on paper a bit more.
Right. And the other avenue that does exist is we kind of talk about all of these like branching and diverging paths of counterpicks. Team World can just kind of like skip all of the small talk and go straight to HBox as a counterpick here as well. And then it brings in, again, is it Zayn? Is it IBDW? What comes after that? That could be different also, because if IBDW comes in before Swooper, I'm wondering if they want to save Swooper for IBDW just based on that nightclub win that he had from before.
I mean, just in general, like, it's like, because the other thing is, like, if Swooper, this is the counter argument, is Swooper obviously good against Fox, not too bad against Marth either. Not so good against KGH, probably the best Fox against Samus, someone who, like, kind of innovated in that space a lot, who has so much experience versus Duck.
That is a very good point.
Right?
Yeah,
So it's like
I feel like with
normally
KJH on the table, it's really hard for you to justify Swooper, but we are getting him,
Swooper.
like we talked about in the beginning. I feel like the natural counter pick here if Swooper takes this is KJH now.
It is funny seeing the world sends in the Swooper. It just looks like a Fall Out Boy song or something, But, yeah. This is not super surprising. I mean, I think, like, the kind of the plays you had were really like this for Zuppy, so I don't dislike this. I think it's very, very, very possible, maybe even likely, that we just see Swooper get a clean stock and kind of run with it.
Right.
It is hard to get that first stock, I would say, as Fox, especially with the pressure, especially hoping to not kind of drop the lead. So I like this pick. I think it makes Skurzo less comfortable, too. So in the immediate future, it's probably going to go quite well.
Yeah, and Swooper actually 3-0 in sets against Skurzo, most recently playing a few months ago at Nightclub VIP over in New York. A couple other sets in the past year or so as well, all going in the favor of the Samus. But, I mean, like you said before, I think that was a really potent point that you brought up. If Swooper takes this over Skurzo, I feel like you're just chop, KJH goes right in, right? Because he's so confident in that matchup.
I still think even then, like, a Sheik is probably still even better.
Sure.
Like, it's like that's the thing, is it's more that he just doesn't have that much counter potential, right? It's like the Sheiks do well, KJH does well. Like, it's like like Zayn is probably the best one. None of this is like, you know, sometimes you get a little carried away with counter picks though. You sort of say like, oh, what is he gonna do? Like they throw in a Sheik. It's like, that doesn't mean that Swooper can't take 3 stocks. Like that doesn't mean he's like couldn't take the whole game. So I don't want to kind of overemphasize that. I just think it's kind of like generally a pretty rough matchup. But you know, only time will tell. We're looking like we're about to jump into it, I hope.
The biggest indicating factor of Swooper's gameplay is going to be how much is he going to go to the ledge? Because that was the difference maker against IBDW. Yes. I'll tell you what. Because for whatever reason, IBDW did not find an answer to ledge jump fair into whatever the follow-up is after that. So a lot of stuff that can happen right here. We're 4 stocks to 1 for Swooper. If Skurzo takes 1, I think that's kind of a win for Team USA.
I think it's actually huge. Like, you need every stock you can get against a floaty matchup if they end up going the Sheik route. Does get the top platform there with the up B, but gets clipped with the shield poke on the Nair. Beautiful stuff from Skurzo, and I like playing the laser game here. You know, you want to get that percent going. Such a good option, and Samus just doesn't have a great way to deal with it herself.
Ooh, platform makes that really awkward now. Skurzo looking for the up air, can't quite connect, but falling Nair is going to promote the edge guard potential. Skurzo finds center again. And
you know, we're talking about kind of KJH earlier and his prowess in the Samus matchup. That down tilt is kind of a signature KJH classic right there. Such a good way to set up a kill, and good to see that Skurzo's using it.
Shows trades in between hits of up air. That surely would have given the kill to Skurzo too. So Skurzo going to regret that one. Overzealous off stage. Swooper finds ledge. We're back yet again.
I like the confidence there, but yeah, I like that up air. Unfortunate SD from Skurzo. Swooper kind of doing his job. He's clocking in, he's clocking out. He takes the Fox stock.
Yeah, and it's a Sheik or KJH. I think you're right on that. But the fact that Swooper found the traded hit in between hits of up air from Skurzo is so insanely massive, actually, in favor of Team World kind of mounting a little bit of the comeback here. But we do see KJH, again, like we said before, really, really comfortable. You had said it yourself, Raider, kind of innovated a lot of Fox tech against Samus, in particular Duck, when he was maining Samus. So there's some tech here. There's some stuff that KJH can do. He's really, really fast and can kind of overwhelm more like slow and methodical player like Swooper might be.
I do want to say I've always liked KJH's style in-game and out-of-game.
Oh my God,
a well-dressed player in general. I think this is a cool jacket. But yeah, KJH is going to go down in history as one of the single most influential players against Fox. You know, we all talk about the Armada shine. That's the KJH shine. That's something that he developed. Talked about the down tilt against Samus, another like really reliable kill setup against a character that is sort of notoriously hard to kill with Fox. He's someone, like I said before, playing Falco lately, and like there's a couple players in the game right now that are like, whenever they touch a controller, they're like, they just have like these creative juices flowing, and they're like looking for new ways to do stuff.
Yeah.
Chef Rockman, another big one. I know when Chef picked up Fox, like every Fox player, I was like,
it's time.
Yeah. This is our moment, man. Yes, this is happening. So same thing, kind of KJH with Falco. I'm like, yes, good, let's go. All right, so we're gonna jump into it.
Yeah,
this should be a good one.
Oh, did he set up extender? That's the question.
Did he press up on the D-pad?
Okay, he did not set up extender for that, but it's always kind of a little ambiguous when Samus goes for aerial tether like that. So something to keep in mind right here, especially with a long 4-stock set.
So, you know, we've been pointing out kind of different things that KGH does kind of in the matchup, stuff that kind of shows that he's more knowledgeable.
Oh, he did set up extender! I didn't know!
So, one of the things I was going to point out is that light shield on the up B. Samus up B kind of notorious for clipping. I cannot believe what we're seeing right now. Oh my God. Beautiful CC.
When has Duck used extender, Radar?
That's the
is
one
KGH
thing.
ready for that?
It's the one thing he's not ready for, Walt. The power shield too. Oh. All right.
Okay, never mind.
We got a little carried away, but 113 is nothing to scoff at. Get hit by a super missile, and you're easily off stage. And I like, again, the shield pressure from Swooper. Gets a solid grab, and that doesn't lead to much, unfortunately.
I think Swooper dash dancing is probably one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my life, because I have no idea what a Samus is going to do off of that. Okay, CC down smash evens up the stocks right now. KGH needs to find a pretty big opening here. Swooper back to ledge.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of at a loss for words. I like these down tilts. I like the platform tech chases so far. Down tilts from both sides, really. And I really like the grabs we've been seeing from Swooper. I think, dude, what a technical Samus player.
Now, okay, my melee memory bank is coming into play right now. Was KJH the Fox that Swooper got the 6 forward air combo on? Because I think that makes a pretty big difference.
I feel like it was like plump or something weird, which is crazy to say, but like, I watched that clip recently. I don't think it was. Either way, again, one of the most stylish players, kind of, whenever he picks up Samus, he's super wave dashing around, he's dropping the extender. Like, I see someone in chat saying, let's just pray that Swooper's thinking about his bank account right now.
Yes.
Yeah, clearly.
Ledge, what do you do, right? See? This is peak Swooper.
He's swooping, he's swooping, he's swooping.
Okay, KJH does find it here. Something that I did bring up, though, when Swooper was kind of employing the ledge strategy against IBDW, was he was kind of creating 50-50s from ledge, where you kind of get the as-expected, extender setup again? Yup. Okay.
But, you know, again, KJH with the awareness is just like spot dodge there. Like, he's like, I'm not afraid of your weird voodoo magic. I've seen it all before. And, like, look, like when I play against that, I'm like, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God.
Okay, weak hit charge shot doesn't do too much, but what's the mix-up here? Just jump up missile. KJH can't find a counter hit, but he can find a kill.
Yeah, there's that weak nair up smash, kind of a classic setup. Again, it's a lot of like Fox's secondary tools.
Ooh, missed input too. I think Swooper rather wanted down throw off of that for follow-up, but has to settle for forward throw instead. KJH might run away with it here off of the missed grab.
Oh, that turnaround, shine turnaround up tilt, actually insane. What a technical option there from KJH. What I was trying to say earlier, though, is just like Fox ends up going for a lot of like his kind of secondary setup. So rather than going for like up throw up air, he'll go for like weak nair up smash. Wow, this is crazy platform pressure from Swooper.
He needs this.
He really does. The world needs this.
The world needs this, and he finds it. 76% though is not good. We'll see if KJH can close it out right here. Swooper back on the ledge yet again. Can't find an opening though. Has to play neutral again.
Yeah, beautiful.
He read it
there.
Okay, shield up in time. He's reading these rollbacks from KJH every single time.
Okay, off stage, like the little neutral B there. Still just kind of trying to make space. Both of them so close, but it does get knocked down in the corner.
That could be really bad.
This still is really bad.
Now.
Oh my God.
Was it all a bait, Radar?
This is so close.
If Swooper wins this.
Oh.
If Swooper wins this.
Every hit is so...
Back to ledge. Missile is overzealous right here. Strong hit back air does it. But my God, did Swooper make KJH work for it.
Yeah, that was insane.
Wow, yeah, that was really, really good. I cannot believe how often Swooper was finding KJH's kind of like get out options. He was just like running straight through, finding wave dash back, finding rolls, just doing everything. But KJH kind of stays resilient here. Still a one-stock lead for Team USA. And now the question becomes, with who Team World has left, do they send in HBox?
Yeah, they, again, back against the wall. Keeping it close, though. Like, I really feel like if you looked at this on paper, it looked pretty USA favored. I think you send in Zuppy. I don't know.
I could see it. But the thing, and again, I think when you present Fox Dittos, we do get Zuppy here. Fox Dittos are high variance, high variance.
They really
in a crew
are.
battle. Anything can happen here. And again,
Zuppy could easily lose 2 stocks. Like, no question. Yeah, like that's like not even that controversial of a scenario. But I still like this. I think Zuppy is another player that's like whenever you have a crew battle, you have a couple players you're like, look, you know, they're the underdog. Let's hope they do well. If they don't show up, whatever. You have your anchor, someone like an HBox, someone like Zayn, where you're like, okay, you really need to do well. And then you have a player like Zuppy where it's like, this guy could do as well as Zayn, or he could just kind of underperform. Like Zuppy has sort of just as a player, period, had like really high highs, but then hasn't kind of been able to like consistently pull it together.
Yeah, needs to kind of mellow out the valleys a little bit, I think, in overall performance. But yeah, I agree with you. Zuppy's really, really good. But when you put yourself in a crew battle position like this, KJH only on 1 stock left. If KJH takes 1, that could very easily turn into 2 or more, especially in a Ditto like this. 3-platform stage, though, is going to be the counter pick. There's no FD chain grab to be had here. But again, this is going to be fast in either direction.
Yeah, I think this is going to be like a 30-second game or less. I think we're really just going to jump into it. Someone's going to get a knockdown. It's going to lead to a huge punish, Shine to close it out. That's my prediction. So far, not been the case, but I mean, we will see.
Okay. CC on the get-up attack, edge guard position for Zuppy, can't pick it up.
And
Double
like
shine,
that,
he doesn't catch jump though, so it has to be another edge guard. Strong hit back air yet again. Rinse and repeat. We'll see if he can find it right here, and the shorten is not mid-length.
You know,
about 30 seconds.
I said 30 seconds and it was like 32.
Did you set a stopwatch?
No, I just looked at the timer. Like someone's gonna go back and be like, actually, it was 37, but it was just barely longer. But yeah, really, really quick game.
Okay, Skurzo out now. Or not Skurzo, excuse me. Zuppy
KJH.
out now. On the stage. So we still have IBDW, we have both Sheiks, and we have Zayn. Is now the time they pull the Zayn trigger?
I think it is, honestly. Like I think that Zuppy would look pretty lost against Zayn. I think Zuppy, again, I have a lot of faith in Zuppy as a player. I think Zuppy is very, very, very good. And I think if you threw him into a Fox Ditto or something, or even against Sheik, I think he'd do pretty well. I think Zayn is just a different beast, man. Like,
sure,
you play against Zayn, you go for an up throw, up air combo or something to build some percent, and he SDIs you, grabs you, and kills you. I call that the SFAT. And no, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Yeah, so like
J-move, okay.
Okay.
Worth mentioning also, stocks are officially even now, so World has brought it back to dead even here. It's going to be another 4-stock to 4 game. And I think this is what we mentioned earlier, Radar. J-Mook being here, if he takes this set versus this game versus Zuppy, I think HBox comes out next. And then we cascade down this whole decision tree of HBox comes out, HBox beats J-Mook. Zayn comes out after that. Zayn potentially beats Zayn-Mook.
Zayn-Mook. Let's go.
But it opens up a lot of opportunity here, but it starts with this set now that we're dead even at 16 stocks apiece.
So I talked with Etost before I got here, like ran into him in the hallway. And he's like, so J-Mook's parents are here.
Uh-oh.
Is that
a power-up?
So by the way, so Etost is the guy who made those J-Mook shirts at Genesis, for those in the chat who don't know. So I said, like, did you make a J-Mook shirt? He's like, I don't need to. J-Mook's parents are wearing J-Mook shirts. And he goes, and by the way, they're both very attractive people. I see where he gets it from, man. And I was like, oh, God. So, you know, J-Mook not just playing for kind of his fans, he's playing for his family right now. Good to see. And, you know, big shout-out to FlyQuest for picking him up.
Yeah.
But
Posture's not going to save him on that first stock, though. Zuppy kind of overrunning J-Mook right now, kind of making him think an extra step on some of these decision trees. Edgeguard position again for the Canadian Fox.
Yeah,
rising backer, keep it simple.
Kind of what I mean, like Zuppy. Kind of interested what the Z tag is as well, with the Z tag for the Canadians, but you know. I honestly think, like, this is what I mean, like, the highs of Zuppy. I really think he could do quite well here.
Yeah, like we said before, because this is even, J-Mook evening it up with a reverse hit back here. Zuppy could run away with this set, and then that presents an opportunity for Team World now.
That's the thing, is like, you have to remember that J-Mook is this kind of like top 5 player right now, and Zuppy is like, you know, nowhere close to top 5. So all he has to do is even taking 3 stocks as a victory, let alone taking the game. He might go all the way, man. Like, this is 2 solid stocks. I don't know about this counter pick wall. Like, it's questionable.
Yeah, Zuppy's just starting to run away with it, and I feel like J-Mook can't really find his footing right now. Let's see if he gets this opening a little early on the dash attack. J-Mook needs to find counter hits. He gets grab. What's next? Okay, God. Don't scare us like that.
I mean, you know, the other thing that is blowing my mind is I was like, I wonder what the Z tag is, and his tag is Zuppy, and I'm like, I'm a little tired.
You done
know?
goofed.
Yeah, I did goof there.
Okay, yeah, and again, that's now 2 in a row where Jmook, I think, expects the lower illusion from Zuppy, and he's just kind of a little bit too low on his edge guard positioning there. He cleans it up here. 73%, though, is pretty big for Zuppy. Let's see if he can extend it with the grab. He does not.
Yeah, that grab was really, really huge. You know, Jmook really known for those very powerful tech chases. Not getting it kind of in that crucial moment. Like, imagine the situation changing here, him picking up a stock off that. He is going to get... Oh, wow. Doesn't even go for the up smash.
Yeah.
Opting to just kind of reset the situation.
Ooh,
he doesn't go for the long roll. Oh, my gosh.
Okay, potentially no harm, no foul here.
Doesn't look like it's going to matter, but still.
Zuppy can run away with this one now. He is focused in this set.
Yeah, you know, again, this is his home turf.
This is huge! What is this punish?
Here's the double shine. All right, gets the back air, keeps going. Almost SDs there, but this is one more edge guard. He just needs to pick it up. Already in such a huge lead. Can he take it with 2 stocks remaining?
He's got it!
He does.
Zuppy with the 2 stock, and Team World takes the first lead of the crew battle.
I said it before. Zuppy is a player that could surprise you. He's someone who could just take 8 stocks just like that, and that's big. Like, this is what I mean. Like, he'll have these matches where, like, I'm trying to remember who he beat off the top of my head that was like just such a huge victory, but then he'll kind of like underperform. Like at Battle of BC, he wasn't able to kind of put it all together. So he's someone that, like, if he can kind of just polish it a bit, looks so good.
Very, very, very high highs.
Yeah.
This player does have. Canada is representing big time here. Zuppy showing up huge. 4 stocks out of Jmook, and also cleaning up Swooper as well. Was that the last set? I believe so.
Yes.
So on track to a pretty good number, but we got a killer coming up on the stage. It's Zayn.
I mean, we've said it already. I see a lot of people in chat saying it, but I think this should have been the pick from the get-go. You know, this is just to point out for Zuppy. He's taken land sets off of Aklo, Moki, Two Saints, Salt, and Professor Pro yesterday, I believe. So, you know, very, very, very capable player. But he's up against Zayn right now, Walt.
Proverbial Zaymuk on stage. I do think this probably should have been the counter pick from the start.
Yeah.
The Sheik working out, if Jmook and or Ben takes it over Zuppy here, it does kind of bring us down that HBox counter pick tree. But now USA has to play on the back foot. Zayn's out a little bit earlier. He might be able to take this with no stocks lost to even it back up, but it is counter pick time up against Zayn. So Team World has to think about how do they take down this Marth, who's pretty good.
I hear what they're saying.
Crowd count sounds good.
Kind of chilling, having a little conversation. I honestly love whenever they mic up stuff that isn't usually mic'd up.
Yeah.
Like it kind of like reminds me of, like, you know, like a football match where you just kind of hear. It just like adds to the kind of not like intimacy, but you kind of like get really close to the action, you know. So really, really great production decision. How many stocks is Zayn taking? How many stocks is Zuppy taking is a good question.
How many stocks is Zuppy taking? I mean, we get Zayn probably on FD. I would assume that's going to be the counter pick of choice.
Fountain is the thing. Like,
okay.
But was it like that? Like, there's no bans, right? Like, but yeah. So if it's FD, I don't know. Like, it'd have to be Fountain.
It could be tough.
Sorry, FD.
Yeah.
Like, So. Just to remind people, we got who? Moki, HBox, and
None
on the side of the world.
IBDW, Ben, and Zayn.
I mean, if you can knock out Zayn here, the path to victory for the world is not not impossible.
Out of reach.
It's not that out of reach. I mean, again, Cody versus HBox is going to be tough. That is one that, like, really I feel has been a hard counter lately.
Right.
As has Zayn versus HBox. So, you know, it's a crew battle. Anything can happen. We are on FD. That makes a lot more sense. Here they go, guys. How many... Just, like, the name of the game is how many grabs can Zuppy avoid? How much damage can he get off of his throws as well?
This is bad news bears.
It's really bad. Look at those reactions, man.
Jump out, though. Yeah, Zayn does not find the follow-up, but it doesn't matter. Zayn with the tipper now, edge guard position. Can he take this first one? Looking like he can. Not quite.
this is the power, you know, like, we talk about the punish, but anyone who's ever played a Spacey on FD against Marth, played as a Spacey, they just know the worst feeling about it is Marth drops a combo, and he's like, oh, that's okay. I can just pick it right back
Whoa,
up.
how did that miss?
Oh, he's going to get the stock for this Walt.
He held jump, okay.
I don't love that decision. I mean, always kind of tricky to edge guard Marth in those situations, but was a bit unsure whether he needed to hold ledge or not, and I mean, he's got to take at least one, but even that is going to be tough.
Yeah, 63% is pretty good to get one. Just charge up smash on Marth's back. Why not? I mean, can find the back air as well. That's got to be a stock. Zuppy.
Yeah.
Nice. I love that. I love that. Even if he loses stock, I think you're pretty happy in that position.
Yeah. I mean, getting grabbed still. Manages to drop it. This is sort of what I mean. You know, like, get the tech chase, go right back to it. Already, this is big damage, man. But gets the drill into the grab. There's that, the power of defensive play around up air, you know? Like, if you don't space it correctly, if they get the SCI, both just kind of so difficult.
Okay, yeah, Zuppy with a bit of a mix-up there on that recovery, though, will get him 2 up airs on the way up. How does Zayn land? He gets to ledge, though, and it's the reset.
I think if Zuppy gets a second stock here, World is winning this crew battle. That's how important this is.
Double jab, can't connect with up
the
smash.
TI on that, though. That's going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, very critical stock take there from Zayn to hang on to that 3rd stock. And now, the World has, like we said before, HBox, None, Moki left. Who do they bring in? I don't think you bring in Moki.
I think this is None for sure. No way is it HBox. No way. But the thing is you know, like, HBox is in the background being like, you gotta
bring me in.
You gotta put me in. Guys, I'm telling you. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take it. So I don't even know who the captain is. It probably could be HBox. But I know when I spoke with HBox at Battle of BC, I said, like, you know, is there any player like you're really wanting to play against?
Right.
Anyone kind of feel like you want to prove yourself against? He's like, absolutely, it's Zayn. Like, I know I can do better against Zayn. But Zayn has had his number. He has made it look, frankly, kind of easy after, you know, really optimizing the matchup, getting those pivot tippers, kind of showing just how good Marth can be against Puff. So from a strategic perspective, I don't really think it's like the right decision.
Yeah. You know what the other thing is, Radar? What's the pop-off going to be?
That is even better point, you know? Are the people of Toronto going to hear deep into the downtown core the roar of HBox as he takes World to victory?
The ground might shake, but I do agree with you. I think None is probably the move for Team World right now. And then if None comes in, they probably bring in Ben if None manages to take it over Zayn. But I mean, the question is, like, Team USA, look at their last 3 right now. 3 stocks on Zayn and a full suite from Ben and IBDW.
This has been such a good crew battle. Like, it actually has been really good. You look at the remaining players, and, like, yeah, Zayn's got 3 stocks, but like it's still, like, relatively even. And the tricky thing about crew battles is, like, it's not like we're doing something like what are their average placements. You know, if you're the #1 person, like,
right,
that's more than just, oh yeah, I get 1 extra point because I did slightly better. It's like you have to take down Zayn. But because on paper, like, Moki, None, HBox might be a bit better than Ben, IBDW, Zayn, because Ben is the outlier, right? Like, he's kind of weighing down that group. But then, like, IBDW and Zayn are just, like, kind of the #1 and 2 right now. So it's like...
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool also, the remaining 3 on each side. There's a really good amount of character diversity here. So we're seeing not only who can take down Zayn as kind of the big question mark, but what kind of character matchups are going to be most optimal for Team World going into this counter pick. I feel like not having a Sheik for Team World might hurt them in some way. And I also feel like Team World, we have None coming in. I feel like Team World is saving Moki for IBDW specifically now.
Yeah.
So you're kind of counting on None to take 3 here. Maybe make it by with 1 stock remaining. Then you send in Cody or Ben as the response, and then you still keep Moki in the back for whenever IBDW comes out, whether it's against None if he takes it against Zayn right here, or against whoever comes after None.
Yeah. I mean, one thing worth mentioning, this is a team kill. These guys, both Golden Guardians, both good friends, you know, really, no pun intended, had a kind of a bond bonded together over the last couple of years. I mean, it really does feel like pun intended, but I swear. I mean, Bond's not here though. We have none on the stage.
Yeah, that's true.
So
very true. Okay, Zayn with 3 stocks up against none. Not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, so I think this is very doable. I think with the stock lead, I actually think that none takes this. I think they are even enough that as long as Zayn's not playing kind of too crazy hot, like None is a very, very good player. This is a guy who got 4th at Genesis, I believe. This is someone who just like kind of consistently has like explosive power, and this is sort of like not a bad matchup for Falcon at all. Some people even think he wins it. Certainly it's quite even in my eyes. So yeah, very, very solid stock from Zayn, but at the very least, like None should take 2, I hope.
Yeah, Zayn is clocking in real early though right now. Trouble on the right platform. None breaks out. Oh gosh, this is getting ugly.
Zayn making me eat my words. And this is what we talked about, like legacy. Zayn is someone who, it's like, it's no longer just about the kind of, is he #1 at any given moment? This is someone who wants to prove himself, who wants to say like, not only am I the best, I'm the best by a mile. Or a kilometer, I guess, if we're in Canada.
Very true. Back hit down smash will not connect though, and Zayn is just up to the races again. There does not link into the tipper forward smash, but it does not matter. None now with the opportunity.
First meaningful opening from None, and what does he get with it? Quite a lot of stage control, but the dash back into the regrab might take it all the way.
Okay, no drift back from None. Zayn with all of the real estate here on Pokemon Stadium and catches the no tech as well. Last stock here for None.
Yeah, almost looked like a bit of a camera situation where None thought he would grab ledge and ends up just missing the tech entirely. Not able to get the slide off here or the thing. I can't believe what we're watching. Well, I am like most definitely eating my words. This is looking like the Zayn show 24/7 and he takes it. Wow.
And it has to be HBox now. So now this kind of flips the script a little bit. Team USA starts to shift the advantage back into their favor. HBox has to come out now.
Yeah, I honestly, like, that was about as one-sided as it possibly could get. They historically have not done that, but that is like, I mean, I know Twitch chat is going like, I think None takes this, you know, like, I think None should do pretty well, guys. He's gonna take 3 stocks, but you know, every commentator has those moments, and I think that was more to do with just how well Zayn played rather than kind of like None underperforming. Like, he basically took controlled center almost the entire time. When he got a opening, he didn't drop it. When he had a tech chase situation off the down throw, he didn't drop it. And when he had an edge guard, I think he dropped like 2.
Sure.
So
yeah, this is tough, and it kind of goes back to when we started the crew battle, is how teams manage their resources, being their players and their counter picks specifically. They brought Zayn in at a point where they only have Hungry Box left, really.
Yeah.
I think Moki is a very, very tall order to take down Zayn, even with 2 stocks remaining, especially if he can get some mileage right here. But Zayn kind of only had to take out a couple players to really close the book potentially for Team USA.
And I know we do see that HBox is here, but we could have had a Zayn Moki Fridays. We might still.
We could, yeah.
So yeah, it's rough. I feel like Zayn's performance, this is what I was saying earlier about like when you look at kind of the average placement, if it was just numbers like #1, #2 versus say like #6 and like 8 and etc., it might kind of average out okay. But then just like Zayn just is such a force, such a consistent player that it kind of changes the math entirely.
Right.
And we'll see how he does against HBox. I know HBox wanting to kind of prove that he is a threat to Zayn, but so far he hasn't been able to do that.
Yeah, and for what we were saying earlier in terms of perhaps Team World is saving Moki specifically for IBDW, now we have IBDW in the back for HBox. So if HBox wins this, he's got another hard matchup ahead of him, and he's got to do it with at least 3 stocks now against IBDW.
Yeah, and so far, you know, like, this is not bad damage, 75%, gonna get a bit more into a grab. I feel like this is what they need. Even getting the kill, rest is on the table, but again, you don't want to miss up rest and get a trade there. That is so important. HBox needs to hold on to the stock.
Yeah, 3 stocks here is really, really huge, especially knowing that Cody Gigaschwab lies in the back. here. HBox can't get off the platform, though, right now. How does he land?
One of the things I think is always a little tricky when you're a Puff player is you don't want to telegraph, especially the low percents, that you're looking for a rest. We see that up tilt from HBox. You kind of like it's just so easy to kind of tunnel vision and go like, come on, where's the up tilt? Where's the empty hop? How do I get in on them? And if you do that too much, Zayn gets another 60-70%, and suddenly kind of there goes your opening.
Wow, yeah, HBox kind of just drifting over the get-up attack from Zayn, but Zayn's kind of nickel and diming here.
Oh, dude.
Wow, everybody just take a moment to listen to the glory.
That was insane. Like that was, I believe, a missed dash grab.
Can we get a replay on that?
Yeah, I would.
Can I ask for that?
I would love a replay if production has that.
That was a really, really great just overall heads-up play from HBox to just know that that would work.
Yeah. I mean, this is why kind of he's been... HBox looking like he has the same watch as me, but this is why he's been kind of so scary, so much of a kind of legend of the game, is just... I mean, there's a reason why we call him Clutchbox, right? He shows up kind of in the corner when all eyes are on him, when he needs to perform. And now they're throwing out Ben versus HBox. And I know what some of you guys are thinking. HBox versus Sheik. This should be easy, right? Well, again, Ben has beaten HBox before. Ben has showed that this matchup is a lot closer than people might think. Do I think this is going to be incredibly difficult for Ben? Yes, I do. But do I think that Ben is just going to kind of get washed here? Absolutely not.
I don't know how I feel about this pick, Radar. I mean, yes, Ben has taken sets. The percentage head-to-head is actually, again, like you said, not as bad as maybe the average viewer might think. It's only 61% in favor of HBox. However, you see this streak of green here that I'm scrolling through? That's like 9 or 10 straight set wins for HBox.
I also just think Cody is the much more logical pick. So I feel like have been disagreeing a bit with the kind of strategic decision making from the crews. I'm also just personally a little afraid of being like, oh guys, don't worry, Ben's gonna do well. After that Zayn thing, I've been a little traumatized, man. I'm like, okay, yeah,
don't want to get hurt again.
Yeah, no more promises, okay? But
yeah, I'm nervous about this pick because before we got into Ben being the selection, I almost wanted to say that the counter pick advantage is probably in favor of World now. And I mean, with that rest, honestly, that might be enough for Team World to just straight up take it.
Which is just so insane. I did not, I really looked at this on paper and said, like, USA has the edge. And it's not a huge edge,
right? But
it's still an edge all the same. And this has been neck and neck the whole time. We've seen just some people really, really show up. And man, was that rest huge earlier.
But now we think about this last thing. We so many times we talked about, oh, maybe they're saving Moki for IBDW. Maybe they put Moki in against IBDW. Now they have HBox and Moki here, potentially. Ben needs to put in a lot of work here for USA to stand a chance now, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it is so hard to build up percent against Puff unless you're moving really quickly, unless you're really mindful of the crouch, you're spacing around it. And I feel like in a high-pressure situation like this one, I don't know if Ben has that cruise experience like HBox does. I think even though he's played in those kind of high-stakes matches before, there's something to be said about playing for someone else,
Sure.
trying to not disappoint other people who are really counting on you. There is money, $1,000 on this, and there's a lot of pride.
Okay. Up air from HBox, traded hit, kills the Puff, but next aerial probably kills Sheik on the way back.
Yeah, but this is the moment for Ben to start kind of building back up the percents. Obviously, this low percent going to be tricky, going to have to try to go for, again, space back airs, play around for the grabs. Needle's good as well. I like the up smash idea. Usually you'll see people just go for a nair because of the percent building, but this should be the stock. Goes for the regular getup.
Concede sledge right there. HBox needs to find another opening here to find the kill. Oh, nice. I love that. Drift behind the shield. Knows Ben has kind of been opting for those shield grabs a lot off of kind of overzealous forward smashes that HBox has been opting for, and then just goes for straight up smash, gets the kill. 2 stocks apiece, though. World has an opportunity here to make it big.
Yeah, I like that Ben is playing this patient. Both of them couldn't be closer of a match. It's always tricky when rest is on the table. One of the things I always say about this matchup is just how different it is from the rest of Sheik's matchups. You can't really confidently grab. You can't really confidently dash attack. So you see kind of Ben going for these space aerials, whipping out these singular needles as well. Those are really good at zoning Puff. I like how he's playing this, man. I think it actually is quite impressive so far.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. Wow, yeah, nice needles conversion as well. Can't convert it into strong hit, but good position. Weak hit back air is not going to kill. Strong hit back air probably will at this point.
And honestly, I think that's like the sign of a great player, like kind of 2022 Melee, is when they go, you know what, like I can't get a ton off this, but I can get some stage control, I can get a bit of little damage, I can make them come to me, and they take it so far. But HBox answering back all the same, and he's got a solid lead. This is where rest becomes really scary again.
Yeah, no qualms with using it at this point, but double jab into the forward air. Ben keeps this one even, and this is the work I was talking about that he needs to put in because IBDW work's going to be coming in after him.
Yeah, I mean, already I think Ben kind of impressing everybody. You know, we were wondering about this pick.
The rest you're talking about, but what's the punish? Just full stack of needles, grab one pummel, and he gets the tech on platform, so that's it.
That's another reason that going for that is just, like going for rest period in this matchup is a lot trickier. I think we just haven't really seen Sheiks kind of innovate in that space, and it's just so hard to get damage period. So I like the decision to kind of try to force the rest there from HBox. High risk, or low risk, high reward for sure.
Almost dead even right now on this percent.
Oh,
HBox
this
with the
is
opening.
big.
He's going to
That's
carry
it.
him along, and he gets it!
So the world, once again, pushing back. We got one player remaining, and he's got to do some work, Walt.
He has to do some work.
He has to do
one
work.
stock off HBox and then 4 against Moki. An above average performance in general, but can Cody go the distance here? Is the Giga Schwab going to come out on stage? I asked the question before, Radar, what's the pop-off look like for HBox? We already got 2 of them.
I wish we could get like a heart rate monitor on HBox. I'd
we
love to
please?
see,
This
like his everyday heart rate, and then like his streaming heart rate, and then his tournament heart rate. I feel like it must take years off this dude's life, man. Like, he's such a high energy, intense person. I don't feel like I've ever popped off that hard for anything, and he pops off like every couple of minutes. This is a guy who passed out from popping off.
Yeah.
How many people can say that they've passed out from popping off in their life?
If he 4-stocks IBDW here, I actually think the venue will shut down on Friday, on day 1.
I mean, someone already pulled the fire alarm, so I don't know if you saw that actually.
I did.
Yeah, you did? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, how much work will he be doing?
Is this, we still have one person after HBox? Moki, yes. Okay, this is looking very good for World. HBox has 2 stocks or 1?
1 stock for HBox and then a full suite for Moki. Moki won the last 3 against IBDW in singles brackets, most recently at the Function 2 as well. So Cody, I think, needs to come out of this pretty unscathed to make it kind of an even bout up against Moki.
Yeah, no, I mean, FT is a great place to do it. A lot of space to build up percent. Fitz kind of, IBDW is not even really defensive style. It's more like he's really, 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 really good at leveraging all the stuff that makes this matchup hard. You know, he doesn't give HBox anything for free. He plays around the rest setups really brilliantly, and he's so good at killing things like up throw, up air. Wow, and we are down to the final match. 4 stocks of Peace, excuse me.
IBDW up against Moki. Like I said before, Moki's got 3 sets to his name against IBDW. They went to Game 5 at Function 2, most recently a couple months ago. Canada's going nuts. He's got the crowd behind him.
I mean, I want to give a big shout out to Joe, the TO Joe, beside me, who's literally hands on his head, like, what are we watching right now? Definitely delivering. I love to see that Moki is wearing that, what merch was that? Summit merch?
It was.
I mean, I'm not going to say that Moki's very hard on stream. Oh wait, I just did. But it's going to be...
They're both repping good text shirts right
exactly.
now. Hold forward.
Yeah, hold forward.
And a melee difficulty.
So there was a tweet I made the other day, and it was pulled from a Twitch chat. And I'm seeing if I can find it. And it was like the most wonderful copy pasta I've ever seen. And I don't have Twitch chat open, but I'm trying to find it right now. Do you know the one I'm talking about? Well, okay, here it is. No one is moking and no one is doking because those aren't actual humanable actions.
This
F
B-roll
off
is so
and watch
good.
the match like a civilized viewer.
As the Canada flag plays in the background for all of you at home, Are we moking and or joking? What is the combination of the moke that is happening here, and how much work is the GigaSchwab going to be putting in for this set? It's 4 stocks. This has gone down to the wire. And again, we talked about this at the beginning of the crew battle, Radar. USA team looks stacked. They look freaking stacked,
dude. They look
dude.
so stacked, dude. I can't believe we're getting all. This has been such a good crew battle. This shows why crew battles should come back. They're such a fun format. We got
one
the crowd
game
hyped up.
to rule them all. It's Pokemon Stadium, Fox Ditto. We talked about high variance.
Slide off Walt. Oh, already just such beautiful reactions from both players. Moki able to get the forward air extension there, and already 69% magic number, and we're gonna keep it going.
Okay, edge guard position for Cody here. Takes position, but now Moki with the reversal. Down tilt into up air, and that's enough to kill it. First blood. Every stock matters in a crew battle, especially when we're on the last game.
One of the things I want to acknowledge there is that we saw Moki kind of go for the delayed up air. That's intentional. He's trying to throw off Cody's STI timing. It's that kind of stuff that makes it so much harder to play against a player of Moki's caliber. Oh, look at that beautiful shine extension. Keeps it going, already 58%.
Cody cannot find his footing right now. Jab reset, get up attack gets him out of trouble for now. Evened up on the stocks here. Just roll it on up. 73% though means up throw is going to combo into a lot.
Yeah, definitely there's certain percentages in this matchup where even just things like dash attack become really, really powerful. Up throw, up air, up throw, up smash. Very, very percent heavy game, but of course Shine kind of throws that all out the window. Drill throws it all out the window and allows you to open them up very beautifully.
Okay,
Great
delayed
stop
up air again, like you mentioned before, Radar. Team World, or in this case Canada, is showing up huge right now with the advantage. Can Moki hang on to it?
You know, Moki's such an emotional player, and I know he likes the crowd behind him right now. The pressure is on, but he is delivering, man, in his home turf. He's well rested, he's not jet lagged, he's feeling great.
All right, kind of inching away with this right now. IBDW needs to find the opening. Dash attack gets out of trouble. Shine as well. Weak hit Nair. Now they're back and forth on the shield and the SD.
Oh,
this is a huge
God.
opening, Radar. Moki can end it right here, right now.
You know, we've been talking about HBox pop-offs, but I think we're going to see a Moki pop-off if he takes it, bringing the world crew battle to a conclusion. Up a solid stock, but Moki, you know, he needs to take this. IBDW can answer back at any moment.
What
Look
a
at this.
start!
Oh my God.
We get back here. It's going to reset for now, and the short and again so necessary for
Moki. Oh my
Moki.
God, the SCI out to get the spot dodge too. Nice, good patience. Oh, we are down.
Stock!
Down
10v10 crew battle, Radar, and we are on last stock. IBDW and Moki, USA versus the world. Who has what it takes?
It feels like the next hit is going to do it. They're near the ledge. Even this opening is so huge, Walt. Up smash.
Big backer.
Oh
He
my
reads the
God.
jump.
It's not it yet.
My God,
but how does he get
quite.
down? That is the biggest back air.
He read the spot dodge as well. Up throw, reverse hit back there, and USA breaks it all the way home. He be doing work. He might be moking and doking, but it was not enough.
Shaking my head right now. As a member of the world of Canada, little disappointed, but what a series that was. Showing.
And the winner of the USA versus the World Crew Battle 10v10 and the winner of the $1,000 prize pot, it is the United States of America. Listen, okay, you know, no bias, right?
Known for being so polite.
Bias, but, you know, thank you all so much. Congratulations to all the winners. Oh, I'm cutting out. Congratulations to all the winners, and hope to see you soon.
Welcome back.
Could
what
not.
a treat, dude. I kind of lost it near the end. I just can't, again, I can't believe what we saw. You know, I do find it hilarious that people booed for America.
I was booing.
You're booing?
It
Yeah,
was
you're
USA
booing.
versus the world here,
Yeah,
right here
I
on
mean,
commentary.
It really was. That's true. That's true. We got the Canadian versus the American.
Yeah, could not bring it home on Canada Day, but it went down to the very last
did.
stock for this set. What a banger of a crew battle. And again, for people at home who haven't seen a crew battle, welcome, first off,
Yeah.
because that was pretty cool.
Yeah, how you guys doing? I'm glad we got to see, again, like a different format on display. I think this is something that, like, if there was something I would love to see out of Melee in general, it's just like just sort of more ways to play the game. And I feel like crew battles is a really good example of like maintaining what makes singles hype while still like tweaking the rules a little bit to keep it fresh.
Absolutely.
So if you, again, we've said it over and over and over again, but I would never have guessed this would come down to the last stock, the last game.
Me neither.
Oh,
it was that was crazy. A really, really solid performances from a lot of people. Standouts, we had Swooper swooping, we had Amsa taking 7 stocks, we had S2J taking 7 stocks. Everyone really showed up pretty big on this crew battle. It was a treat to see, and I'm really glad that we got to cast this one.
Absolutely, man. I think it's a great start to the weekend of what is going to be, I think, kind of a sort of instant classic to come. We have so many good players here. We got Mango here, you know, someone who is sort of fighting a slumping period, but he wants to answer back. We got Zayn. We got Moki defending home turf. We got IBDW, who wasn't able to come to Battle EVC. So many good players ahead of us, and I just can't wait to watch it all.
Yeah, guys, we're in for a banger of a weekend here at Get On My Level 2022. The Melee action does not stop tonight. We're going to be going for the whole weekend. That's going to do it for us tonight, though, and we will be back tomorrow for beginning of singles bracket in Melee. Hope to see you guys there, because there's some hitters here. Lots of really good Melee. So much more Melee to be played, as it were. And yeah, as always, thank you guys for watching. We're going to wrap it up right here. I've been turned down for Walt. We got Radar SSBM on the mic. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for Get On My Level.